Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, honorable delegates. The co-chairs of CyFy have just recapped, I think in a nutshell, the big questions around technology, society, and security. My name is Soline Kauffman and I was tasked among other fellow speakers today and tomorrow to bring new voices to this conference. I'm honored to have been given this opportunity to speak at CyFy 2017, and I would like to start by saying thank you to ORF and to Samir Saran for having invited me. Thank you as well for not calling our segment Young Disruptive Voices. I attend a few tech conferences with startups, and I have to say I'm always a little bit confused by this title. I think it's worrying for us to be called Young Disrupted Voices because my voice hopefully is not causing disruption in this assistance, and I may look quite young, but I'm not that young anymore. So I work at a company called Early Metrics. Early Metrics is a rating agency for startups. We use financial, non-financials, as well as psychometrics to assess the growth potential of early-stage ventures on behalf of our clients. We have one mission, which is to bring more transparency to the startup ecosystem in order to favor the best types of innovations and to facilitate their growth. And as part of this mission, we see a good amount of cybersecurity companies which, for instance, use biometric technologies to verify mobile users' identities through the analysis of their physical behavior, or companies who allow organizations to launch cyber simulations against themselves and immediately provide mitigation procedures to close the gap. We've also rated quite a few early-stage ventures in cybersecurity, one of them being called Tescalab, which is part of our top rated companies. And what they're doing is they're developing a scalable enterprise security solution for mobile and IoT application to protect businesses from getting hacked. Through our activities, what we see is an increasing need for our clients for mature cyber technologies. Our clients are business entities, but they're also more and more government departments. And of course, as our world grows increasingly digitalized and the penetration of technology progresses, it is evident that cybersecurity is becoming, if it's not already actually, one of the main challenges faced by our society. Yet, when we speak about cybersecurity, the scope adopted seems slightly restricted. It's restricted in two ways. The first is in the way we consider targets of cybersecurity. When we think about cybersecurity, we think about GhostNet or shadow networks or the operations carried out by Fancy Bear, for instance. We're thinking about a state trying to attack another state through cyber channels. Or we're thinking about a group of hackers trying to target strategic, either political or business targets. But cyber attackers increasingly see the value of targeting mass consumers' data as well. And the case of Equifax hacking last month is a proof of that. In the face of anonymous attacks, we, the individuals, are powerless, and as such, states bear the responsibility to protect us. But technological defense is so far limited compared to the sophistications of these attacks. And if the states are to develop strong enough counter-cyber measures to protect us, there is a genuinely worry that increased data surveillance will impede our citizens' privacy and thus raise human rights issues. I think the second restriction in scope that we have when we think about cybersecurity is actually in the lack of understanding of future digital societal practices and the risks therein. As of now, we all possess a digital imprint. We all have LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook accounts, and they are extensions of our persona, extensions that we, so far, fully control, and that we feed with information on a proactive basis. But let us imagine the world of tomorrow. Let us imagine that it's a fully digitalized, fully connected world. What does it mean exactly? Well, instead of having a simple imprint, let's imagine that we have an independent digital alter ego, which will be passively fed by big data, for instance, and potentially as well powered by artificial intelligence. Let's imagine this alter ego, digital, could predict what my physical me in the real world wants and get it for me in the digital space. Let's take an example. For the sake of being in India, my example will be called Raoul. So Raoul has been buying a coffee latte at the Costa down his office every day at, say, 8 a.m. Raoul always pays with his debit card. Seeing this pattern, his digital alter ego starts placing an order at 7:57 a.m. every day and pays online. Raoul now gets his coffee fresh and on the go every morning without having to wait, without having to pay. Everything's being taken care of by his digital alter ego. One day, Raoul snoozes his alarm one too many times, like it may happen to the best of us. His artificial intelligence digital alter ego, which is connected to his IoT watch, knows he's late, and therefore places his order at, let's say, 8:26 a.m. for an 8:30 pickup. This is a useful, seamless, innocent use of data. But let's imagine Raoul, now late, arrives at the office on this fateful day. He's awaited by the police and arrested under criminal charges. They have found his IP on various terrorists' websites and claim they have had conversations with him with an anonymous police chatbot regarding a future bomb operation. His payment card has also been used to purchase weapons online. So, is Raoul not the colleague you've imagined? Has his digital alter ego been hacked and patterns and behaviors planted to incriminate him? Or has the IA acted independently? And if so, why? In such case, Raoul will have to go to court, likely, to be judged or proven innocent. But what about his independent AI, alter ego? What responsibility does it bear? And if it's proven that it's acted independently, will it go to, say, a digital criminal court of justice? How would the law apply? As you must have guessed by now, I do like science fiction. That was not an example from a science fiction book that I've read, but I think science fiction, for all its worth as a literature genre, is and has been and continues to be productive in many ways. And I would encourage you to read some of it. And we should pay attention to what it says to us. Technology has already led to impressive behavioral changes. We use smartphones every day. We can't disconnect anymore. As a society becomes increasingly dependent on it, we should consider how a fully digitalized world would work. The scope of our conversation about cybersecurity has to go beyond cyber warfare, as we understand it, and beyond the sole translation of international rules of law to the digital world. The public affairs community needs to engage much more with not only researchers, but also tech entrepreneurs and hackers to look now into the digital world of tomorrow and mitigate the upcoming risks. I'm not aware of any hackers in the room. If there is, please raise your hand. There is one. Impressive. So we have to speak later on, but I know there's many government representatives and people involved in the tech community today. So by bringing us together, the ORF through CyFy 2017, is leading and building a necessary bridge amongst those stakeholders, which I'm very excited to be part of. So I look forward to the upcoming presentations and panels and the engaging conversations that we will have, and I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you as well. Thank you.